Hey guys, I'm Becky from Book Bite Reviews, and today I'm sharing my February TBR. We are back with the short TBRs. I only have 6 books on this list, but I do have a couple of things to explain, so let's just dive right in because I want to make this video as short as possible. First up is my Books and Bites book club pick, and that is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. This is technically our March book, but I'm trying to read them a month ahead of time. That way I can make all of the questions because we do have in-person meetings here in Taylor, Michigan. However, we are now also on Goodreads, so I will have the link down below if you want to join. So in February, I will be reading this book. I am so freaking excited about it. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and it's finally time. I cannot wait. Next up is my Rub Club pick, and I haven't had one of these in a couple of months, so I will explain what Rub Club is again. I will eventually have a dedicated video talking about Rub Club, but Rub stands for Reading Unrated Books. So there is a library, you may or may not have heard of it, called the Library of Congress, and they have a faction called the Braille and Talking Books program. This is for those who have some sort of issue that prevents them from reading a traditional physical book. So it could be somebody who has low vision or no vision, somebody who has a reading disability, somebody who cannot physically pick up a book, so they have some sort of issue with their body, whether they're paralyzed or etc. But if you are one of those people, then you would be using the Braille and Talking Books library. In the past, what they've had to do is any books that come out, they would have to pay narrators to record the books. That way their patrons can listen to them. Now we have gotten to a point where we're working with publishers and they are willing to send the commercial audiobooks straight to us. However, these come unrated. And you may be thinking that all books come unrated, which is true. But with the Braille and Talking Books program, you can decide if you want some, a little, or no violence, strong language, or sexual content. Now that we're getting the commercial copies, there is nobody who is checking for those things, so they created the Rub Club program. So this is where anybody, whether you're in the program or not, I work for the program, you can sign up for the Rub Club and you'll be sent a book. You can go pick it up at your library, or if you are in the program, you can listen to the audio version. And then your job is to listen to it, look for those things, and look for any trigger warnings as well. So now that we have gotten through the description, let's talk about the book that I have for February. That book is How It Feels to Float by Helena Fox. Now, I have heard some things about this book. I've heard good things about this book. I do think it's going to be one that is a bit more sad, which I'm a little nervous about. I don't really want to be sad in February, but I guess we're going to be. This book features a girl who I believe is coming to terms with self-discovery, but also her father has passed away, but she can still hear him, and something happens and she can no longer hear her father, and she starts to spiral out of control. I'm guessing that this book is going to touch on mental health issues. I'm not sure if the fact that she can hear her father is a mental health issue or not. I'm gonna find out. I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully it's good. Next up is my buddy read with Destiny from Fountain of Books. We have been making our way through the House of Night books, and now for February, we are starting the House of Night Otherworld series, which is the spin-off. So we were doing where we read one a week, but now with this new one, we are going to be reading one a month. So the very first one is Loved. This is the first book in the spin-off series, and I'm very excited about it. I currently have not read the last book in House of Night. I started today. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. And I'm even more excited about this new spin-off series because it has been some time. They have grown a lot as authors, and I'm just very, very excited to see what's going to happen in this next book. Next up is the book that I have for review this month, and that is The Rebound by Lynn Stevens. This is a book that I was very interested in reading. I saw that it was up for a blog tour. I can't remember which company it is right now, but I will have that included in my book review video that I put out this month for this book. And I was going to join it, and then I decided not to, that I would check out this book on my own, that I didn't want any kind of deadline. And then I got an email that said I was approved for the blog tour. So apparently at some point, I must have decided to apply, and now I have it for review. But I am very, very excited. This book sounds really, really good. We have a main character who basically has it all, but does not have a good reputation because she's known as the rebound girl. Her friend decides to set her up on a blind date, and while on that date, she thinks that this is finally her chance to find true love, but then she sees him checking out his ex-girlfriend, and she knows how this song and dance goes, so they decide to create a fake relationship. Of course, you can guess that this book is not going to work out as planned, and I freaking love a fake relationship. I love it a lot. It always turns out to be something more. I cannot wait. I'm just all about it. So I'm very excited that I somehow got this book for review, and it's going to be one of the first things I pick up in February. Next up, I am bringing back my husband pick. So in 2019, I think for like 5 months, I had in my TBR where my husband would pick like 2 to 3 books for me to try to read that month from my shelves. He has no idea what these books are about. He would just decide based on title and cover, and it was a lot of fun. However, I stopped doing it. For one, it became just a lot because I felt very pressured that I had to read all those books, and I just stopped. But now I am bringing it back, and the way that we are doing it this time is that my husband has picked 3 books for me, and I'm going to choose one of those books to read. Now let's jump into the clip where he's choosing the books. That very first pick was Claire de Lune by Kristin Johnson. This is a YA paranormal about a girl that finds out she is a werewolf. I am very excited about this one. I've been wanting to read it. It is an older book. It kind of sounds like it's also going to read a bit older YA. I believe it's part of a duology. I do have the second one. I hope it's just a duology, but I have been wanting to get to this one for some time. Is this the month for it? The second pick is The Snow Owl by R.S. McCoy. This is the 4th and final novel in the Alder Tales series by R.S. McCoy. I have been luckily sent every single one of these books in a physical form by the author for review. For some reason, I have not read the last book. I have absolutely loved the series. I've devoured it. It's so freaking good. So if you've not checked out the series, be sure that you do. This is a YA paranormal fantasy fairy tale retelling. So each book has a classic fairy tale that is retold, but all of the stories are woven together. You do have to read them in order. And we have the final freaking book. And I just really need to read this book. Is this the one that I pick? And the final choice is Last Seen Leaving by Caleb Roehrig. This book is a YA mystery thriller about a boy whose girlfriend goes missing. The cops and everyone else think that he should know something because it is his girlfriend. He is the last one to have seen her, but all the stories that her friends are telling do not add up, and he has some secrets of his own. So he's trying to uncover his girlfriend's secrets while also keeping back his own. It sounds really interesting, and Caleb is actually a native Michigander, so I am pretty partial to this book as well. I gotta hand it to my husband because he picked 3 really, really good books off of my shelves. I mean, I am a little biased as I have bought or obtained all of these books, but these are really hard. These are all like my favorite series and very interesting, and it's gonna be hard to pick, but I do have to pick one. So I think I'm gonna go with The Snow Owl. This is my husband's choice of what he wanted me to pick out of the 3. He really likes the cover and he likes the title. And since it is the last book in a series and I'm trying to make 2020 another year of defeating series, I think I need to go ahead and pick this one. I'm really excited about it, but I also really want to read these too. So I think I'm going to keep these on my TBR cart and we will hopefully get to these ones as well. And the very last book that is on my TBR is another mystery choice. So what I've decided to do in 2020 is I want to defeat my NetGalley. When I first became a reviewer back in 2011, I of course joined NetGalley and I started grabbing everything. I am not very good when you tell me that books are for free. So I of course grabbed a whole crap ton and I've now been dramatically behind on reading and reviewing these books. I currently have 71 books from NetGalley that I have not read or reviewed, and that needs to change because that affects my reviewer percentage on NetGalley, and that helps publishers determine who to give galleys to. So I need to get that number up, which means I need to read and review these books. So I have decided to come up with a vlog series that I want to do in 2020. That series is going to be called Defeating NetGalley, and I'm going to have these out probably like every other month to quarterly, just basically when I have enough content to post up a vlog. But the plan is that hopefully every month, as long as I have read the previous month's pick, I will be picking one book at random, vlogging my experience reading it and reviewing it, and then also within that vlog, picking the next one. And I'm hoping that I can dramatically increase my reviewer statistic on NetGalley. So how this is going to work is that I have put all of these books in a bookshelf on Goodreads, and I have a random number generator. So we are going to run the generator. That number corresponds with a book. That will be the book that I have to read, and I have set myself up where I have to at least try it. I cannot write off a book from the get. I have to read it in DNF or read it until the end. Let's just start with our very first pick of 2020. So as you can see, I have the generator set up to pick a number between 1 and 72. That is because there is one book that I have started, so it is on my currently reading. It's been on there since I think September or October. That is also from NetGalley. So there are technically 72 books that I need to try to do. Let's go ahead and see what we get. 51. So that book is Broken Hearts, Fences, and Other Things to Mend by Katie Finn. So this book is about a girl named Gemma. She had her summer all planned out, but then she gets dumped. She decides to go back to the Hamptons after a 5-year absence. This is a YA, by the way. But being there puts her in risk of bumping into her old friend, Haley. Gemma intends on making amends and trying to become friends again, but a small case of mistaken identity causes the people she knew years ago, including her ex-friend and her dreamy brother Josh, to believe that she is somebody else. So, hijinks. I'm a little nervous about this book. It sounds a bit dated. It sounds like it's going to be cheesy, but it might surprise us and be amazing. So this will be the very first book that I start off my Defeating NetGalley challenge with. Alright guys, those are all the books that are on my official February TBR. If you want to see everything else that I end up reading this month, be sure to check out any vlogs I put up, and of course be sure to keep an eye out for my February wrap-up. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it and you want to see more bookish content from me, please hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified as soon as my videos go live here on YouTube, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!